Hi, I'm Al Korelin. Thanks very much for joining me. We are in Vancouver, British Columbia right now at the Keel studios where we shoot all of our videos up here. And right now this is kind of a treat for me because I'm chatting with an old friend of mine, Gary Freeman. You probably never thought I'd admit that, but I admit it. You're a very valuable friend of ours.
Well, thank you very
Having
much.
said that, no, I'm not going to let you talk, Gary. Having said that, we have been following Pediment for quite some time now. Our company does all of the SEC reporting for Pediment. So I am clearly not even close to being unbiased in this situation. I think it's one of the greater companies out there. I've known Gary for a long time. I've known Mel Herdrick for a long time. And I have to tell you, these guys are doing everything right. Let's start out with the description, Gary, the two assets in Mexico.
Well, thanks, Al. We have two key projects in Mexico, and although I say that all the time, there really is a third district that we haven't been spending much time on, and I can talk about that later. But the two key districts are the San Antonio discovery that we made in 2007, which we actually incidentally put out a press release today that we started a scoping study on, Amex doing the scoping study, and that's exciting for us because what we're starting to do is disprove or prove that the global resource is there and taking out any of the naysaying people out there that might dispute it for what it might be. So that's an exciting time. And the second project is when we bought, and we bought it through the quieter times, 2007, called La Colorada. And
I remember when you guys bought that, yeah.
Everybody's been down to that place.
Yeah.
And it's an exciting project to talk about because no matter who you talk to in the fundraising side of it, they all say, oh, I can remember being down there when that was the big deal in 1996, 97. And it's still a very big project and it's got lots more to offer. So we've been working there as well. The third project area, which we don't talk a lot about, only because we haven't had a lot of time to work there, is our collection of properties in what's known as the Sonora Mojave Megashear. And that actually was how the company started. We were planning on looking under pediment cover in the Megashear for blind deposits. And of course the discovery was made on the Baja and that all changed. So we've been focused on the Baja for the last couple of years.
Where do you stand right now, Gary, in terms of the evolution of getting actually from, I would have to say, a development stage company into a production stage company? And let's talk first about the Baja. What's going on there?
The Baja is an interesting project because, like I said, the scoping study has started, so we're taking all the naysayers out. That is a project that's going to take a tremendous amount of work now because we've gone to that next step.
Sure.
What we did to deal with that issue and to become credible was we hired Bill Faust, who actually he's become a director. I shouldn't say we hired him. He has become a director, you don't hire directors, and has gotten very involved in the day-to-day operations on this project. Also, Peter Mordaunt, who was the seller of Stingray Copper, and he sold that to Mercator just recently, and actually was the seller of Corner Bay to Pan America at the beginning of this cycle.
I know Peter really well.
Yes,
Yeah,
he's got a lot of experience.
We've got some real history with Corner Bay and also with Stingray. So, but Peter has a tremendous amount of experience. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Peter joined your. Well, I know I'm not mistaken because we did a radio show about that. Peter joined the board of directors of Pediment. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're going traveling starting tomorrow. Some marketing, and this might be my first trip with Peter. But Peter and I get along really well. And this is what we did when we decided to go to that step towards production, because it's important to have that credibility on your board when you're going to tell people. I mean, there's a number of juniors who have said we're going to go to production, and many of them don't make it.
Oh, yeah.
Most of the juniors don't have that talent on their board, and so we knew it was important, and so we strived to get that done as soon as possible.
So that's what's going on at the Baja.
Correct.
And that's what's going on with Peter.
Correct.
What's going on at La Colorada right now?
La Colorada, we just finished a 43-101. We hadn't done one since we picked the project up. We spent about, I don't know, I'm not sure what the dollar value was, but we drilled about 10,000 meters of drilling there, and we did the 43-101. The initial numbers that we had gotten when we bought the project in the historical format was about 600,000 ounces. We took it to 1.1, 1.2 million ounces under 43-101, of which half was measured and indicated. So we're pretty happy with that.
Oh, yeah.
What La Colorada needs now is another round of drilling. We need to expand out east and west. We found some other zones that are starting to develop into nice gold zones, and we believe the west side of the project area has that to offer as well. So there's probably going to be another 10, 20,000 meters of drilling over there. But that said, we're also doing a study of the material that was left behind the Merrill-Krauss system. We need to understand what needs to be fixed. They've got some of the pads need to be looked at, some of the liners need to be looked at. And so we're doing an inventory so we can understand what the operating system that was left behind has to offer in terms of a production scenario.
So plans right now, I mean, I don't want to say you have your hands full because there's plenty of hands to fill up, so to speak. But
Sure.
La Colorada and the Baja, we know what's going to go on there for the remainder of 2010. What about the third property?
We've been talking about getting some work done up on the Megashare, and we're just, it's so busy, and well, there's lots of people to work with us, and we've got lots of staff, particularly in the two spots in Mexico. We have an office in Hermosillo, and we have an office in La Paz, and so they're both buzzing with people.
Sure.
But, there's a lot of work to be done. Neither of these projects are easy. There is metallurgy to be done at La Colorada still. There's a study to understand the strip ratios in the old pits. There's lots of gold left in the system, and it's suffice it to say that while this project has been producing for about 150 years, no, not that long, about 120 years, it still seems to want to produce more. It's a large system with a lot of upside potential to it. So while each production time period goes by, you need to look at it a little differently.
Yeah.
But once again, it's a big vein structure that goes on for a long time.
I think personally this is going to be one of the bigger ones in the next few years, starting with this year. I know you guys are well financed right now. I know the technical team. I've met all of the people, and I'm very comfortable with them. As I said, unfortunately, at the onset of this video, though, our conversation is I am highly prejudiced here, but there's really nothing wrong with that. I also have to say, in the interest of full disclosure, I am a shareholder of Pediment, bought the stock out of the market. We do all the SEC work for Pediment, and Pediment also is a sponsor on our website. Gary Freeman's one of my better friends, so, take a look and see what you think. I don't think you're going to think I'm crazy, but that's where I'm coming from. Thanks, Gary.
Thanks, Al.